Alright, hello everybody from my programming class. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up our workspace that we've been working on doing for the past 2 weeks. It's going to be all condensed into one sort of thingy episode thing. I don't know what to call it, where I'm going to be showing you guys how to do everything all at once. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go over to our start icon. Mine is in the top left corner. Yours may be in the bottom left, which it probably is. And you're going to type in a search bar of any sort, control panel. So we're going to click on the first one. This is our control panel. We are going to be navigating through everything to be able to figure out if our operating system is 64 or 32-bit. So in case you missed the first couple episodes, or first couple lessons rather, we figured out what our operating system was, so if it's 32 or 64-bit. And it's very important to remember which one it is, because what we're going to be doing with it is we're going to be downloading different things based on if you have a 32-bit operating system or if you have a 64-bit. So let's go to System and Security. Once we've gone into our control panel, we're going to click on System here. And inside here, we can figure out right away our system type is a 64-bit operating system. Yours may be 32-bit. If yours is 64-bit like mine, you're going to be downloading the same things as me. If not, I'm going to show you what to download instead. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually be going to this website here. And this is in the description of this video in case you need to figure out where it is. It's going to be called the Java Development Kit. You click on that link, it'll lead you right here. You just need to click Accept License Agreement. Click that. There's a little bubble thing there. Then you can see it has two links down here. Windows times 86, Windows times 64. If you're a 32-bit operating system, you're going to click on this one right here. The 32-bit one, click this one. If you're 64-bit like me, you're going to click this one. Follow it over, click this one. If you're not, click that one. If you're on a Mac, the Mac OS is up here. Just click on that one. What we're going to do is, this is the Java Development Kit. So this is what we'll be using to actually code in Minecraft, which is pretty cool. So this is an executable file. I will need to sign into my username, or to my user. If you don't have a user, make sure to make one, because then you can download it. And we will save this file and wait. So what you're going to do is, once you've installed it, you're going to click on it and run it. Just click yes. And hopefully it'll take us through this. Alright, you're just going to hit next, next, you're just going to keep hitting next until it starts downloading. Then you have to wait again. So it will pop up with this. It's asking you for destination folder. Just click next and wait for it to go. Alright. Yay! So now what we're going to do is we will click on close and let's move on. So what we're going to do next is let's click the start button over here and click on control panel. And control panel, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on system and security, and then we're going to click on system again. So it's the little PC with a check mark on it. If you need to pause it and go back, feel free to. And then you're going to click on Advanced System Settings here, and we're going to click on Environment Variables. Inside here, let me pull up something else here. We're going to open up Windows Explorer, or you can click on Computer here to get to it, and we're going to go to our local disk. It might be called OS, it might be called local disk. All that matters is that it has a C and a colon next to it. That means it's your C drive. So then in here, we're going to click on our program files, and let's go to Java right here. And then once we're inside Java, you can see we have I actually have two. No, I have one. There's a JRE, which is a Java runtime environment, and a JDK, so you don't want to get those two confused. So we're going to click on the JDK here, and we're going to go into bin. And once we're in here, we don't need to click on any of these. We're just going to go up to this address bar right here. We're going to click on that, and we can hold Control and click C to copy. Another way you can do it is you can right-click this and click Copy Address as Text. So whichever you prefer to do, you can do. They both work the same way. When we're in our environment variables, though, we're going to go to our system variables, so this one right here, and we're going to scroll down to path. So right now our path is set to our JDK, which I've set before. But what you want to do is you want to delete everything in here, so make sure you have nothing in here. And you're going to paste what we just copied over here into our system variable. Hit OK, and that will work. Then you can exit out of all these things so that we have good space here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to need to download Minecraft Forge. So the way you can find that is you need to go to the link in the description. It's going to be called Minecraft Forge, and it'll automatically lead you to the 1.8 version here. So you don't need to click on 1.8 or anything. If you would like to download older versions, which I don't recommend you doing, you can do so. We're going to download 1.8 for the sake of this whole lesson. And so when we're in here, we have two options. We can download the latest version, or we can download the recommended version. In the latest version, it does not have a source to download. In the recommended version, it does. So we're going to download the recommended source folder. So you just click on source, and you're going to wait for this. If you don't have ad block, it'll show you an ad. You just want to wait for this thing in the top right corner to say skip. It'll give you a couple second countdown. Wait for that, click skip, and it'll ask you to save or open the file, and you will want to save it. Once you've downloaded that, we are going to drag this to our desktop. So the next thing you want to do is you want to extract this zip folder. If you have a zip folder, you're going to want to extract it. I have a link to WinRAR in the description as well. You can download that. It'll let you open zip files if you can't. If it came up as a folder, that's another way you can, you don't need to extract it if it comes up as a folder, because that's what we're making here. So when you're in WinRAR, all you need to do is open it up and click Extract To. So this little button here. Then there's an OK button. Just need to click that. And that has made a folder right down here. I'm going to drag this to the middle so you can see it. And what we're going to do with this is we are going to actually open it up. Alright, the next step in doing this is we're going to make a new text document in here. So we're going to right click this background area, hover over New, and click Text Document. And before we do anything to this text document, we need to make sure that we're able to change text documents to batch files. It may sound confusing, but the way we can do that is we can click on the start icon over here, and we're going to type folder options. Folder options. If you're on Windows 8, you can click the search button. If you're on Windows 10, there's a search button in the bottom left corner. If you're on Windows 7, you click the start icon and start typing. Then you're going to click folder options here, and you're going to click on view. So inside this view thing, we have a bunch of different check marks and all this crazy stuff. This one is going to be automatically checked. What we're going to do is we're going to uncheck it. Then click apply. What this will do is this will allow us to see, so I'll check it for you. So you see over here we don't have any file extensions. When we uncheck this, we can see what are text documents, what are batch files. Then you're just going to click OK. That'll change everything too. So the next thing that we're going to do after we've done that is we're going to rename this text file we just made. We're going to delete everything in here, and we're going to call this setup workspace.bat. It'll ask you, do you want to change this? It'll become unusable. Yeah, we're going to change it. It doesn't matter. It's not going to become unusable. It's just giving you a warning, though. It might become unusable. But what we're doing right now is we're going to be making files we can run that will set up our workspace and set up Eclipse for us. Second one we're going to make, coincidentally, is one called setup eclipse.bat. It doesn't really matter what you call them. We call them setup workspace and setup Eclipse because we want to know what each of them does. So it's helpful to know that this one will set up Eclipse and this one will set up our workspace. But you want to make sure they have .bat at the end of each of them because we want to make them batch files. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to right-click setup workspace.bat. Then click Edit. Inside here it's blank. We don't have anything. So what we're going to type is we're going to type Gradle W space setup, then a capital D in dcomp, then a capital W in workspace, and save that. Remember to pause it if you need some time. That's what makes it good about this, is that it's not a live classroom. You're able to pause this and go back. And if you have any questions, be sure to message me on Virtual Homeschool Group's website. Alright, next one we want to do is setup eclipse.bat. So let's edit this one. What we're going to do in here is we are going to type Gradle W space eclipse. That's all you're going to write in these. Click Save. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to double click on setup workspace.bat. Make sure you run this one first. Poop. So once you've made those, we're going to double click on setup workspace first. What this will do is this will run it for us. And it may take a while, you just have to be patient. Sometimes it'll show a lot of dots. You just have to wait for it to be done. Mine will probably take a little while, so I'm going to be right back. So by the way, the reason it's skipping is because I've already downloaded it. And it'll say build successful at the end. I just wanted to show you guys what it said at the very end. Just so you know, if it exits, it means it was successful. The next one you want to run is setup Eclipse. And we'll wait for this one too. Alright, cool. So now it's set up everything, and the next thing we're going to need to do is we will open Eclipse, because now the next thing we're going to need to do is we will need to download Eclipse. So the way we download Eclipse is we're going to go to eclipse.org. The next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to download Eclipse. The way we download Eclipse is you're going to follow the link in the description to get here. If you've already downloaded Eclipse, then you can skip to the next part. But as for the rest of you, if you are a 32-bit, you're going to click this link here. For 64-bit, you're going to click this link here. And this is to download something called Eclipse IDE, which will basically allow us to edit Minecraft or modify Minecraft. So what we're going to do is we're going to download this. I'm going to click on 64-bit, and then you're going to go over here. There's a yellow download button. Click that. And it should come up. Here we go. And just click Save File. It'll take a while to save, But what you want to do is once you're done downloading it, you're going to go to your computer, you're going to go to your local disk, and you're going to make a new folder called Eclipse. I already have one named Eclipse, and what you're going to do is once you have downloaded your zip file, you're just going to drag it all the way into your new Eclipse file and extract it there, just like how we did with the Forge folder. So what you're going to do is once you get the Eclipse zip, you're going to double tap it and click Extract to, and then just hit OK. Alright, just extract it here. You're going to go into this folder, go into Eclipse, and we're going to make a shortcut for our Eclipse. So you're going to right click eclipse.exe and hover over Send To and click Desktop, and that'll send a shortcut to your desktop so you can get there easier. You can pin it onto your taskbar like I did, so it's easier to access. And so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually open up Eclipse. So you can see it set my workspace to this random place, and we don't want that. We want it to be set to our Minecraft Forge folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Browse, and we're going to go to our desktop, and let's find out where our folder is. It's going to be called, here it is, Forge 1.8 Source. And then in here, you're going to click on Eclipse. And that's all you need to do. So find your Forge source folder, click on Eclipse, then hit OK, and OK again. That'll open up our Forge folder that we made, and if everything goes correctly, we should be able to access our folder. Just wait 1 second. And here we go. Whoops. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to go into this Minecraft folder. It's the only one here. And you're going to click on this one, source/main/java. Click the little arrow down here. And you can see we have something called an example mod in here. This is not our mod. We can delete it. And click OK. Now we have nothing in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click our source main Java package, and we're going to make a new package. So just to show you again, we went into Minecraft, we went to source main Java, and we right clicked it. Hover over new and click this guy called package. Another thing you can do is you can click on source main Java and click this little button here, and that'll make us a new package here. What you want to name this is you want to call it com.mod.mynewmod. Remember, you don't want any spaces. It says invalid package name. It can't start or end. You can't have any spaces in between. You can't have a space anywhere in this. You have to have it just like I wrote it. com.mod.mynewmod. Click on finish. This makes a new empty package for us in here. So right now we don't have anything in it, it's just an empty package just sitting there. So we want to make a new class. So you see this little green C with a little plus next to it. That tells us we can make a new class in here. We're just going to click on that. And let's name this class Ruby Mod, because we're going to be making a Ruby modification first. So if we're done with this class and you're coming back to these to make your own different mod, you can do that. Right now in the tutorial, we're going to be making a Ruby mod, just so it's a little easier for you guys. So below public class Ruby mod, we are going to type public and then void. So we want to write inside these brackets public and void. Then we're going to type pre, and then a capital I in init, and then an open parentheses. So far we have public void and pre-init. Init. And inside these parentheses we're going to type FML, which stands for Forge Mod Loader, pre initialization event. This one's a little long. So FML is all capitalized. The P in pre is capitalized. The I in initialization is capitalized. And the E in event is capitalized. Then you're going to put a space and all lowercase event. After that, you're going to type a squiggly bracket and hit enter. And once you hit enter, we are going to copy what we just made. So copy this whole thing and paste it right below this first one. I'm going to put a, like that. So we have an error here. What we can do is we can hover over this and click import. And what do we have here? Oh, whoops. Alright. Once we've done that, you can see we have another error here. But what we're going to do is we're going to move right along, and we're going to change pre-init to init, and get rid of the pre in FML pre-initialization. So it's just going to be FML initialization. We'll import that as well, and let's paste this one more time. And instead of having pre-init here, we're going to change that pre to post. Post init. Change the pre in here to post as well. And let's save that. We'll import everything here. And you're going to click this save button up in the top left. Save all that. So far, this is what we have. And then above each of these public void statements, we are going to type @event handler. So above each of these, @event handler. The E in event is capitalized, as well as the H in handler. And if you get an error, import it. So now we're going to make a new class called reference. In this reference class, we're going to type this: public static final, and we're going to make a string. So it's going to be public static final and then capital S in string, and we're going to make the string called let's call it mod underscore ID. We'll make that equal to RM for Ruby mod. Let's make another public static final string. This time let's make one called mod name. And let's call this one, let's just call it Ruby mod. Whoops. Remember to put a semicolon at the end of each of these, so if you haven't done that already, do that. And then for this last one, we're going to type public static final string, and then we're going to type in version. So the version of our mod. So this version, because it's the first version we made, we're going to make it 1.0. Semicolon at the end, and this is what it should look like in reference. We're going to click save. Remember, we want to save frequently. You can hit Control S if you want to. You can also click save. Sorry for that background noise as well. And the final thing we're going to do in this lesson is we're going to actually, above public class Ruby mod, we are going to type in @mod. Here, I'm going to wait for this noise to finish. Okay. So in above public class, let's do this again. Okay, above public class Ruby mod, we're going to type above public class Ruby mod, we're going to actually type @mod, and then we're going to make open parentheses here and type mod ID equals, and then we're going to type reference dot mod mod ID. So remember, we called our mod ID RM. This is just telling up here our mod ID is whatever we put over here. This way you don't have to write everything I'm saying, and you can edit these in your reference folder instead of having to go into rubymod.java to edit it every time, which may get a little frustrating, I guess. Then you're going to type a comma and a space, and we are going to type the name equals reference dot, and we can choose our mod name here. So this will do the same thing, it's just our mod name. And then the version is equal to reference dot version. And there we go. Now you don't need to put a semicolon at the end of this one, you just need to import mod. And remember, you need to import everything and save it. So now that's it. Now that is it for the first lesson of this Minecraft mod design course. Make sure you have all this done before the next lesson, and yeah, we'll see you then.